So I thought we battled defensively, had a good plan. They made a couple nice plays there in the second half, but there's a lot of things improved defensively. Gave us a chance. Thought we did a good job in the kicking game and fell short offensively. We ran the ball much better. Our passing game was not good enough, particularly on third down. So we were like 1 of 10 on third down. That's hard to sustain drives and put points on the board. So, but I thought defensively we did some good things, and in the kicking game we did as well. Tracy's got a shoulder. Graham got hurt during the defensive introductions before the game. He was out there kicking and got a groin, so he couldn't go first half. And then he said he can kick from a certain distance in the second half. So that's about it. Not good enough.
Coach, what did you see in the way that they were playing in the secondary to limit Malik and Wandell's?
Yeah, I mean, they played a fair amount of split safety. So, we got a bunch of split safety last week. Just didn't get the job done this week with it.
Why do you think you couldn't get Malik the ball? He obviously didn't have a catch going into the fourth quarter there.
Yeah, we got to do a better job with that. No question about it.
What do you attribute that to? Game plan, quarterback?
Probably a collection of everything, Pat. Probably a collection of everything. Again, they were playing a lot of split safety coverage. They played it last week. Could be just a little bit different, but I'd say a collection of all that. We certainly got to do a better job with it.
Was the plan with Andrew Thomas, or did he?
Yeah, we were going to give him 25 plays, so that's what we gave him. And he came out, from what I understand, just fine. So that was the next step for the ramp up for him. Hopefully we'll be able to get some more this upcoming week.
How would you describe Russell Wilson's game tonight?
Yeah, I'd just say overall offensively, Connor, nothing was good enough. Coaching, playing, didn't do a good enough job. Everybody.
Brian, this is the second time you've had to play a game without a kicker.
Yeah.
Is it getting untenable to have that kicker when, it's...
Well, look, that's why Jamie kicks at practice too. I know they blocked that kick. We had a range for him as well, and him and Gunner had practiced before. But, just literally we're getting ready to go out for the anthem and saw him pull up on one of those kicks. So then we had to decide, what's the line now? The fourth downs change, throughout the game considerably. So we just had to, make sure we were dialed in with that. And then the second half, when he came back, there was another plan, but then we had two kickers. One was going to kick for a certain distance. The other one would kick a certain yard line in. So you got to do what you got to do.
In the first series, it's safe to say you would go for the field goal there?
Would have, yeah.
Brian, I know this is harping on it again, but you guys spent so much time this offseason stressing the need to start fast.
Yeah.
To be 0-3, how do you describe that?
Yeah, that's not the goal, certainly. So, again, it's we got to put a complete game together, all three phases, offense, defense, special teams, coaching. We got to do all that. Again, I thought our defense responded in a positive manner. But you only score once. Not good enough.
And the rhyme or reason when you put Jackson in, and then you get down, it seems like 3rd and 4, deep in the red zone, would be a perfect time to put him in. You don't put him in, you run Russ on the zone. You're just trying to understand the thought process.
Yeah, I would say, look, we discussed the plan going into it, and Mike is in his flow of the game. I thought when he put him in and ran a couple of those zone reads, the first play we put him in was actually a pass, not a zone read. And then based on where we were on that particular play, where we got hit and lost a couple yards, there was a certain distance we were going to go for it. And we actually lost a yard, I think. And if we didn't get it, we didn't think we'd lose a yard on it, but we had a zone read on that play as well too. They just played it well, and he can run those.
Fans were. Go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, Dave, were you thinking at all about maybe getting Jackson a series or two just to try to change up the tempo of the offense?
Yeah, I'd say, the plays we had him in, that's what we thought was best for him. And we'll continue to work with them and get him ready.
Is it?
Right, fans were calling for Jackson to get in the game, and then when you put Russell back in, they were booing him.
Yeah.
What would you say to the fan base that is calling for this rookie that you guys are obviously excited about, and they are too, after this offense looks like this?
Yeah. Look, Jackson's progressing well. We'll continue to work with him. I got a lot of confidence in him, his development that he's had, and that's what we'll continue to do. Look, I'd be booing too, to be honest with you, in terms of not being good enough. No, not scoring, not finishing. I understand that. That's the nature of it. We got to be better.
Brian, I know that Russell's been through a lot. He's seen a lot. He's endured a decent amount throughout his career. But I mean, every time he steps back on the field to come back in and he's getting booed, I mean, how does he take that? Do you have to say anything to him? I mean,
Yeah, no, I didn't have a conversation about that, and I don't think the coaches, the offensive coaches, they're talking on the sideline. They're looking at the plays that we just ran. They're going through the adjustments. They're talking about things that we should do the next series. That's where our focus has to be is looking at the things we got to improve on and do it.
Will you start next week, Russell?
Yeah, you guys have asked me about players after games. I'm not going to answer that.
Does not winning games or like getting off to a slow start change the approach? At least make you have to start thinking about, okay, when do we put our, obviously you invested a lot in Jackson, when do we put him in?
Yeah, like I said, we'll continue to work with Jackson, continue to develop him. He's done a nice job since he's been here, and again, we'll go back, we'll watch the tape, we'll sit down, we'll have our discussions like we normally have, and do what we think is best.
He's the number 2 quarterback, and this is 2 games now the offense has been really bad. Like, at what point is Russ's performance dictate a decision strictly on Jackson's timeline?
Yeah, again, Dan, everybody's got to be better. We're not going to put this on one person. Everybody has to be better collectively. Again, the run game was a step in the right direction, but the pass game, particularly on third down, when you're 1 of 10, that's tough sledding.
There's a connection between Russ and Scattergood.
Well, he had some checkdowns. There was a couple play action passes where he dropped back, and Cam's a tough competitor. Thought he ran hard. Thought he did a good job in the passing game when he got the ball in his hands. He's a good young player.
I understand that I understand it's collective, it's the unit and everything, Brian, but if you replace a guard, it's very rare that's going to ignite the offense. You replace a running back, it's probably not going to make a huge change. A quarterback has the ability to do that. Change a quarterback can ignite and kind of elevate everyone else. So when do you have to start thinking about that or considering that if these struggles continue?
Yeah, again, Connor, look, it's on everybody. Takes 11 people to go out there and execute a play, a good call. It's everybody's involved in it. So we gotta keep working to get that better.
Do you think you guys had a good plan for what they did against you defensively?
Well, we didn't score hardly any points. So there's a lot of discussions on the sideline, trying different things. I thought the running game was well. They play a bunch of split safety. You got to be able to run the ball too, and make productive yards in that area. A third down it wasn't good enough. So when you're 1 of 10, it's a combination of a lot of things, Dan.
In the first half, did the referees miss the face mask call? Did they talk to you about what they saw or didn't see on that?
Well, obviously they didn't see it because they didn't call it.
If Tracy, obviously, not knowing what his health is, if he can or can't go next week, how confident do you feel in Scattergood based on what he did tonight?
Yeah, again, we'll see where Tracy's at. I have confidence in Scat, though.
Yeah, I was definitely rusty. It's been a while taking a live rep like that, but like I said, I was happy to be back out there.
Do you feel like you could have gone more physically, like aside from the plan? Like, did you feel like you were able to go more?
That's kind of what we discussed before, and regardless of how I felt, the game plan was to play that amount of snaps so I don't have any more setbacks. Yeah.
Andrew, for the time that you were in there, what part of your game came back the quickest and you felt good about, and what parts of your game do you still think didn't come back?
Yeah, I think I did a good job in the run game, communication with the guys around me, and I think there's some things in the pass game I can tighten up to get my set back to where it was before.
Are you on track, you think, for a full game next week, or is it going to take a couple more weeks?
Not going to make any predictions. We'll see how it responds tomorrow, and we'll talk about the plan and see where we go from there. Yeah.
Offense needs to do to kind of be more consistent and get over the hump?
I would say just execution all the way around. There's a lot of plays that we leave on the field. One position group is doing well and the other one isn't. To have a good offense, all 11 have to execute, and that's what we got to work on.
Andrew, it appears from upstairs that Scatterbo really gives you guys an extra spark when he makes one of those physical plays. What's it like in the huddle, and what's it like when you see him on the field make a play like that? Is there really much of an impact?
No, you can tell Scat's a football guy. He just loves ball, and it shows in his play. And when you have a running back that runs like that, that gets the offensive line going for sure.
Thank you.
For sure. But, I still feel like I don't want to put the team in a harder spot, just not playing at all. So I tried to push through it, and they were definitely concerned. But I told them I could push through it and at least make from 40 and in. So that was the plan, and I'm glad I was able to go out there and get the field goal for us.
That first series, you're watching, you're seeing, and teams marching down, certainly in your field goal range. Is it kind of a sick feeling to know that you're not available for these guys at this point?
100%. It's frustrating, especially with a pool. You can't control that, and that's. I remember somebody was asking me questions just this past week about it. Why am I feeling so good and everything, and then this happened. So it's frustrating, but I only control what I can from here on. So I'll try to do what the trainers and doctors are saying and get back as quick as possible.
40 and was the range you were thinking of it?
Yeah, that was kind of. I went back to 45, and it was pushing it a little bit on my leg. So. But yeah, I was making everything from 40 and in, and the training staff did a great job, wrapping it and getting me ready to go.
Yeah, I thought Scatterbo had a great game. He's battling. He did some really good plays. I think he made some really good plays on some of the scrambles and plays that we had to make. He's got a great demeanor to him. I thought he did a really good job.
And the touchdown.
Yeah, he did a good job just getting. I think the line did a great job, run blocking on that one, and him getting in the end zone was a good play.
Russ, how frustrating is it now that there's 2 games you guys have not been able to get a touchdown through the air and just kind of get this offense going a little bit?
Yeah, I think it was obviously disappointing. Thought we had, it was a close game. It was a battle all the way. It was a tight game. And I think that, we just needed 1 or 2 more plays. Obviously, I want to play better, for us and give us a better chance to win. The throw down the middle to Wandell, took a shot to him. They made a good play. And then, right before the half, I was trying to give one-on-one to Malik, and they made a good play on it. So, just try to give them a chance at it, and, they did a good job.
What was it about their scheme that just made it so much challenging compared to last week? Because they played some similar safeties, the way that they split.
Yeah, they're a good football team. They're talented. They're coached well and everything else. But, I think we just needed 1 big touchdown in that moment, somewhere in there. Right? We're hoping that we could get that right before half, and they made a good play.
Can you take us through that final 4th down incomplete pass in the end zone that ended the game?
Yeah, was trying to step up and get it to Theo, and just didn't really get to step into my throw the way I wanted it to. Tried to just give him a chance, and then the ball just kind of sailed on me, just trying to get it to him, but that was unfortunate.
We struggled when it mattered the most, but I think we have a bright future ahead of us. I see the offense and what we have in this offense, and I'm excited to see it rolling. They're getting me rolling a little bit, and then all these other guys, like, we got talent on this team, and once we get this thing rolling, it's going to be a scary sight.
How difficult was it to go in at halftime down 9-6? It was 6-6. Then they get the big penalty, and they get that field goal. Is that a big deflation thing for you guys when you come into the locker room?
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, we got to look at it as 0-0. Go back out there and play our game, and just score points. I mean, that's our job as an offense. We just got to score points. That's it. So coming in 9-6, like that's a hope thing for us. Our defense has held them to 3 field goals. Like, we got hope, So, I'm excited to see what we got in the future, and we got to get this thing rolling and keep going.
Spags is a terrific defensive coordinator, does a lot of blitzing, a lot of run blitzing too. So as a rookie, what do you learn from a game like this, going up against a master DC like him?
Yeah, I mean, he was great. He had disguises that I've never seen before, and it looked like there was 9 guys coming in the gaps, and nobody came. So it's definitely a difference, but we have our keys and our assignments, and we know where to be at. You know, we study all week for that, so we just got to continue to do our thing.
Cam, appreciate your time.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.